I'm going to preface this by saying this is the best controller that I've used for the PlayStation 5, and there's not even a close second. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Phantom made by Hex Gaming. Over the past 2 years or so, it seems like these third-party companies have really stepped their game up, and Hex Gaming is right up there with the best of them. I've already had good experiences with them in the past, but this is really some next level stuff. The Phantom is loaded with tons of bells, whistles, and customization options. We got a lot to cover, so let's start with what comes inside the box. Inside the box, you have the Phantom itself, an ultra long braided USB Type-C cable, this little container that houses the different joysticks, a little baggie full of these joystick protector rings, and this obscure little control module here that I'll touch on in a little bit. As far as the joysticks go, you have a variety of different lengths and widths, perfect for someone like me who gets hand fatigue while playing first-person shooters for an extended period of time. They're super easy to pop on and off and don't give any wiggle once attached. They're locked in fairly secure, but this is just a minor nitpick. I've seen some other companies implement a magnetic contact system with their joysticks, and it would have been nice to see that here, just to give a little extra layer of connectivity. Now these joystick protector rings aren't exactly necessary, but they will help prevent the normal wear and tear of your joysticks grinding against the rails. Taking a closer look at the controller itself, they really wanted to make sure we knew that these were Hall effect joysticks. But the face button layout is completely identical to the official PlayStation 5 controller, as well as the touchpad, directional pad, and your 2 Hall effect joysticks. Topside you have your 4 shoulder buttons, and these are in fact adaptive triggers like the official hardware. You also have a USB Type-C port for charging and wired connection, and you have this little compartment here that's actually a bit of a pain in the ass to open. But once inside, you'll see that there is this ribbon cable connector. If you're experiencing any kind of stick drift, or you're just completely unhappy with the amount of dead zones you're feeling, you can attach this module and make full manual customizations to each joystick, giving you an unparalleled level of customization and control when it comes to each joystick. But like I said before, be careful when opening this compartment and don't scuff up your controller the way I did here. This completely blew my mind. I've seen some controllers in the past use computer software to help assist with stick drift or recalibrating dead zones, but this is the first time I've seen one that has a external module that allows you to make these manual adjustments on the fly. Over on the backside, you have the 4 tactile paddle style buttons, which to me have some pretty interesting placement. I really like K2 and K4, but I wasn't a big fan of the placement of K1 and K3. You have the button top center that allows you to program the paddle style buttons, and you have these 2 switches for the triggers that don't just change the shallowness of the trigger pull, they completely change the function of the button altogether. Once you move this switch to the side, it turns the adaptive trigger into a tactile mouse click style button. Once again, another mind-blowing customization feature that completely alters the controller and makes it a lot more versatile, not only first-person shooter friendly, but fighting game friendly also. The entire controller has this really nice grip that manages to feel gritty and soft at the same time. The entire controller screams premium build quality. One thing I would have loved to see is if they had put micro switches in the face buttons. I mean, these buttons are fine the way that they are, but putting switches in the face buttons would have put this controller completely over the top. Hex Gaming, if you're listening, may be something to consider in the future. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and claim I'm as good of a player as I was back in my prime, but damn, either I was having a good day or the Phantom turned the clock back. I was knocking heads back left and right while playing Call of Duty. It felt like 2009 all over again. And while I'm fully aware its intended purpose is first-person shooters, but I still tested it out with a couple of other games, and it just worked great all around. I even plugged it into my gaming PC and it had no problem detecting it. And I played some fighting games using those tactile triggers, and it was every bit as good. So the Phantom by Hex Gaming. Guys, like I said at the beginning of this video, easily best controller I've used for the PlayStation 5. Now, it's important to keep in mind, you're going to be looking to spend between $230 to $260 on this controller depending on which model you get. So this is about as niche of a product as you can possibly get. And you're not going to be buying this thing simply because you need an extra controller for your PS5. So obviously the only way I see $260 being a worthy investment for a controller is if you're looking to be really competitive. And I'm talking like tournament play here. Or if you're someone who's putting in tons of hours, whether it be for the sake of content creation or some other means, and you're looking for the next step up in terms of durability and customization, then something like this might be worth it. But for the average run-of-the-mill weekend warrior, $260 might be a pretty steep investment on a controller. If you're on the market shopping around for a competitive gamepad, definitely add the Phantom to your list. If you guys are interested in the Phantom by Hex Gaming, I'll put links in the description below. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.